Nice to see you, man. It's
Yeah,
been a
nice.
long time.
It's been a long time, brother. It's been a long time. How are you doing, man? How's everything over there in the land of
Fine,
Sweden?
man. Oh man, it's amazing here. It's really nice. It's a little bit cold, compared to California,
Right.
but it's an amazing country. It means now that you get older, it's a great country to live. As I don't go back to California, man.
Yeah.
Too much traffic here. I don't use a car. Since I moved to Europe, I don't use a car. It's been 12 years that well, I was renting sometimes cars,
Mhm.
just to move and all that. But since I moved to Sweden the last 8 years, I don't use a car. Everybody use bicycles and
Right.
walk. So it's really nice not to drive, not to think about parking and tickets and all that shit. So
Fuck. That's cool because the culture's different. Everyone thinks about just walking or biking. Where here in LA, everyone's like, okay, I need a car. I need a car. I need to
yeah, well,
drive. It's different.
they have a good transportation system.
Oh,
So
nice.
everything works great. You don't need a car. It means it's the best. Plus, everybody stays in shape. Everybody
Yeah.
looks great. They have a really good shape because they walk and they exercise. So it's the way they eat. It's like a completely different mentality. They take care of the environment. So even if you want a car, if you buy a car, it's more because of a necessity. Because you really need it.
Right.
Otherwise, no, you don't need it.
Wow.
Everybody goes to work. It's so funny. You see the doctors and lawyers and everything in their bicycles. It's like
Oh,
it's
that's
really
fucking
cool.
badass. Wow, that's cool. That's
Yeah,
fucking cool. They're just walking to work, walking to the office.
yeah.
That's
They
cool.
take the bus, so they take it means the taxes are pretty cheap.
Yeah.
Here where I live is called Malmö. It's the city next to Copenhagen, Denmark. I live
Okay.
I live in the border. So it's if you use the taxi, almost everything is like $6, $7 wherever you go. So
Wow. Are you pretty close to Shanda? Because Shanda lives in Denmark.
in Denmark,
I think Shanda lives in Denmark.
no, she lives in Sweden, no?
Oh, she did. No, I think it was Denmark.
Oh yeah, because I heard that she was in Stockholm a while ago. I don't know if
Yeah,
she moved to
right.
Copenhagen, to Denmark. I
Oh,
don't know if
no,
she's
no. You know where she moved to? No, she
where.
moved to Belgium. That's where she's at.
In
She's,
Belgium.
she's in
Okay,
Belgium.
yeah,
Yeah, I remember she sent me a
yeah.
message. Yeah, she's
Oh
in
no, no,
Belgium.
that's another.
That's
Yeah,
that's way that's far.
yeah. But I heard that she was in Stockholm for a
Yeah, she
while.
she was. Yeah, she was there for a while. But
Yeah.
awesome, man. But good, man. I'm glad everything's great. Uh, First off, dude, like I mentioned to you, man, welcome to the show. I wanted to reach out to you because you're one of the original people that were involved in the LA salsa style in Los Angeles, from the birth to the rise of the salsa scene in LA. And
Yeah.
this was many many years ago. You began as a student, you learned the craft as far as how to dance, you became a teacher, a performer, and
25 years ago, man.
25 years ago. And I know that you were involved in other things like emceeing, you were master of ceremonies for some events and whatnot. And
Yeah.
um, I tell me about your story, man. I would love to hear your story. How did it all start for you? Like, how did you get into dancing, man?
Well, woof, going back to
It's 25 years ago.
1990, 1990, 1990, I think it was. So
Wow.
that's like 30 years ago, 31
Wow.
years ago.
Wow.
That's when I really start for the first time that I went to a club
Yeah.
and I saw the way they were dancing. In 1992, it was I went to see a competition. It was at the JC Fandango,
Okay.
and where was
Anaheim,
down?
right? Was it
Yeah,
Anaheim?
Anaheim,
Anaheim, the
exactly, in
original
Anaheim.
one. Yeah, in Anaheim.
That's the one who started all this revolution of
Yeah.
salsa in California.
Right.
And I went to see a competition, and I saw Marlon Castillo and there was a guy that was called Chayanne.
Okay.
There was a few people, Johnny, that
Right.
I'm still in communication with him. They were like the main dancers, And I went to see a competition because my brother Francisco got me into it.
Right.
They were like, "Oh, there's this dance, salsa is really cool, and
Right.
it's like cumbia, and you have to dress up to go there to the club. You have to dress up. They don't let you in with
Right.
jeans." And
Got to
so
wear the
I dressed
suit.
up for the first time ever with a
Right.
freaking big suit. I look like a pachuco, bro, with that shit. It looked like a rainbow, bro. Everything was like a blue suit with the um, red shoes. It really, I looked like a clown, bro, because I
Yeah.
didn't know how to dress up. So I went to
Right.
the club and I saw the competition. I said, shit, this is really nice. I want to learn to dance this. So
Who
I
was
started asking if
competing?
there was anybody teaching,
Oh,
and
right.
nobody was teaching. Nobody was
Really?
teaching. Yeah, and
Wow.
the dance was really simple. It means
Right.
it was a mix of cumbia with, but it was salsa music,
Right.
but everybody was doing very simple stuff. There was no double turns and all that. It was
Right.
just one turn, and the guy who won, it was Marlon Castillo. He did the split under the girl's leg, and because
Okay.
of that, he won the competition. So
Oh, wow.
I was
Okay.
like really impressed, and then I got into like dancing. I started going to the club a lot because they allowed me to go with my brother Francisco, because at that place you have to be 21 years old. If you were 18, you have to go with an adult. They put a
Okay.
stamp on your hand, and you couldn't drink, but
Right.
you were able to get inside with an adult.
Right. Right.
So I went and I started going there. I got into it. Francisco was competing there. He won a car, because at that time the price, it was a brand new car.
He won the car?
Eh,
Wow.
yeah, no, my brother Francisco. So I
Right.
got really
That's cool.
inspired. I said, "Oh, I need to learn so I can
Right.
compete and everything." And
Right.
then I got into it, and
Okay.
then I was competing. I won a competition there years after.
Right.
And then eh, everything was just because of the love of music and dancing. And I got into it, and people, they start asking me on the dance floor, like sometimes they were like at the clubs, like, "Do you teach? Do you dance really nice? But
Right.
can you teach me?" I was like, "I don't know how to teach."
Right.
And
Right.
and so somebody asked me, one of the dancers at that time, an older person, and told me, "You know what? Can you teach me, and I pay you?" And I said, "I don't know how to teach. Just teach me the way you want. My wife is in Florida, and I want to surprise her when she come back, because she loves to dance with you, and you always do these moves that she always talk about, and I want to learn those moves." And I was like, "Okay, I'm
Wow.
gonna try, but I don't know how to teach."
Okay.
So he came to my house. He learned some moves, and then he goes like, "What? If you want, I can bring some people here, uh, two couples, that I know, and you can give us some classes here in your house." And I said, "Yeah, sure." So they came,
Wow.
and that's the way I start teaching at
Wow.
my little apartment. I don't know, 3 by 3 or something. It
Right.
was really
Right.
small, man. Um, it means the living room, because we have the table, we move it, and I
Right.
start like that. So they were paying me, uh, but when I gave the private lesson, the guy gave me 100 US dollars. For the
Nice.
first time, I never
Right.
got so much money in my hand in 1 hour.
Yeah.
I was like,
Right.
shit, 100 US dollars. It means at that time, the salary in America was like 525, something like that,
Right.
you know, an
This
hour.
was this was what, 91, 92? What year was
That
this?
was in 1994.
1994. Okay.
That's when I start teaching. That's when I create the first the company. The Love
Yeah.
Dance Academy,
Yeah.
Love Dance Salsa Brava.
Yeah.
But it was only with Jovi, my ex-wife,
Yeah.
and Janet Valenzuela. Remember?
Yeah.
So
Right.
I start dancing with the two of them. Me with two girls at the same time. I
And
was
how
used to
many
dance with two.
back then
So
when you were first teaching, how many people were dancing? How many dance companies were there back then?
nobody.
There was no
I
dance
started.
company.
I started the first salsa dance company ever in 1994.
It was the first. There
The
was no other.
first.
Wow. Okay.
No,
Wow.
Francisco didn't have los rumberos.
Right.
It didn't exist. Nothing. So
Wow.
I created because after, like I told you, I was on the teaching in my apartment. It got
Hmm.
full, like with 8 people,
Right.
and there was no more space. And one of the
Right.
guys told me, "You know what? Why you don't rent a dance studio?" And I was, "A dance studio? Look, I didn't know anything about this." He goes like,
Right.
"On the way to your house, I saw a dance studio. Why you don't rent that space? It looks like a good place, you know." It's like, go and check it out. So I went to check. That's when we started the Dance Factory, the most famous
Okay.
dance studio at that time, man.
Right.
That it became the revolution because Josie Neglia,
Right.
Francisco, Rogelio, they were
And
teaching
in
after
Long
there.
Beach.
So I started renting that place with an old man, and those people, they start bringing me more people, and then I start announcing. As I did my first business card, that
Okay.
one of my
Nice.
students, he was a photographer. He took a picture and did some like art and everything, and that was my first business card. You have to go and develop like a picture, like a normal pictures. Remember the Kodak,
Yeah.
and I have to cut it with the scissors to create like a business card.
Wow.
It was
Yeah. Yeah.
really, yeah,
Old
and
school.
and
Yeah.
and that's the way I start. And then he got
Oh,
full the freaking class. From there, people from the class, they asked me, I'm gonna get married, and I would love for you to come and do like animation or a show if you can.
right. Right.
And I start like that, but I start getting so much work. Imagine Los Angeles with so many million people, and nobody
Right.
was having a dance company or teaching or nothing. With so many Latinos,
Yeah.
nobody was doing anything.
It was
I
unheard
heard that
of. Yeah. Right.
Albert Torres in Laura Canelias,
Hmm.
remember?
Yeah.
They were somehow later. I find out that they were teaching in another area, but we
Like
didn't
the
know
like
each other or
Santa
anything.
Monica area, wasn't it? Like there were.
Yes,
Yeah.
exactly,
Santa
something
Monica
like
area.
that.
Right.
But the people, they push me to get into it more, and then I say I need more dancers because they're asking me for lots of jobs, and I cannot just dance with the two girls. It would be nice to have another dancer. That's
Yeah.
when I asked Rudy Sales.
Okay. Yeah.
You know,
So he was the
Rudy
first one you
to
asked.
dance with me, the Cuban,
Right.
and he started dancing with me. He was one of my first dancers ever. They joined the company.
But you asked him
And
because he was already dancing before. Maybe you saw him at
yeah,
JC
yeah,
Fantangos.
he was dancing, and I asked him. I started getting lots of jobs. I created this company. It's called Salsa Brava.
Right.
But I need another dancer or maybe more. But would you like to do something with me? It means to start dancing with me in the group. He
Right.
said, "Yeah, sure. Let's try to do something." And that's the way I start. And then I say, "Shit, I need more." And I start asking some other dancers and
Right.
everything. Remember, Edith the Salsa Freak? It was one
Yeah.
of my
Eating the
students.
salsa. Yeah.
I start with students
Okay.
and friends, and then it grows so much because we start getting so many jobs, and I
Yeah.
start getting more students. And I say, "Che, maybe in the future I'm gonna need some dance instructors because what about if I get sick or something?
Right.
Who's
Good
gonna
point.
cover the classes?"
Right.
And that's the way it started. And then it grew like freaking hotcakes, bro. It was like I would used to have like 120 students in one class, and ten
That's
dollars per person. I would used to make sometimes in one
good
day I would
money.
used to make 4 or 5 thousand US dollars in one day of work.
That's good money. And it's
It's,
crazy.
yeah.
It's crazy because when you were going to JC Fandangos, how many dancers were there that were good?
Uh,
Not many, right?
well, no. There were good.
They were
Only
good.
Chayanne at that time. It was called
Cheyenne.
Chayanne. Really tall guy.
Yeah.
Johnny
Okay.
and Marlon Castillo.
Okay.
But it's so funny. That's the guy who inspired me to dance. A lot of people think that it was my brother Francisco. Or there was no inspiration. It was only those three guys. You were used to see those guys like gods. Like
Yeah.
and they were used to walk with two girls holding the girls
Right.
from the side. I mean, I don't know, again,
Wow.
20, 19 at that time, that
Yeah.
something like that,
Wow.
when I got really impressed by the salsa scene. So
Yeah.
imagine a young boy with these guys that were already like, I don't know, 30s or something like that. And when I saw them, I was like, wow, this is really cool. The way they dress, the way they walk, the way they dance, the way, it was like I was just to admire them. It's so funny because
Wow.
Marlon Castillo, with the years, he didn't know that I saw him in the competition that he won, and he got me so inspired.
Wow.
With the years, he invited me to go to Amsterdam, to Netherlands,
Really?
and
Okay.
when he'd call me and go like, Luis, I know you by video and everything, and I just
Uh-huh.
want to tell you that you're my inspiration, the way you dance, blah blah blah. No,
Wow.
but I didn't know who he was. He just told me, I'm
Oh,
a guy from, my name is Marlon. I live in Netherlands. So I
yeah.
thought there was another person because the guy that I met, it was in Los Angeles, well,
Yeah.
in Anaheim. And then I went to Netherlands. And when I got out of the airplane and I saw him, I was like, wait, that's the guy that inspired me to dance.
Oh
But he didn't know.
shit.
He didn't know. So
Wow.
he didn't know that he inspired me. And
Wow.
when I got out of on our rivals, he went and hugged me and I started crying. Go like, Luis, you inspired me so much to dance. And I start crying, and I go like,
Wow.
what the fuck are you talking about? I go like,
Holy
you
fuck.
inspire me to dance. If I'm dancing, it's because of you. And he go like, what? So I told him the story.
Right.
I saw you winning the competition. Imagine with the years, he liked the way that I was dancing without
Yeah.
knowing that he was the first one who inspired me. When I saw him, I want to dance like him.
He must have
It's
been
freaking amazing.
surprised. He must have been shocked. He must have been
He
like,
was in a
holy
shock. I
fuck.
told him all the students in Netherlands, this
Yeah.
is the person who inspired me to dance, and now he's bringing me here for the first time. He's the first one, the guy who brought me for the first time to Netherlands.
Wow.
And it was amazing. So we were crying and everything. We're still in communication once in a while. So
That is so fucking cool, man.
yeah.
Wow.
But
It's
there was
just-
not too many dancers at that time. Nobody. It means it was that club. It was the only that one, and maybe it was another place that it was the only ones. In Los Angeles, I think it was Candilejas. That was like
right.
one of the places.
And then it was
They start
Rodolfo.
many things, but it was
Right.
more cumbia. It
Right.
was a mix of cumbia and a little bit of salsa. But the
Right.
JC Fandango was straight up salsa.
Yeah.
Salsa and merengue, salsa and merengue, salsa and merengue. It was like
Yeah.
the main thing. But it was full the place of with people who dance. And at that time, it was more Latinos only.
Right.
90% it was Latinos. Only a few from other nationalities.
Right.
And then it started growing so much because of I think it was the time that everything started changing with Jennifer Lopez, Ricky
Right.
Martin.
That's true.
Know
right.
that?
And
That
then
the
you had-
Latinos,
right.
is that the music started becoming more popular.
Right.
Then
right.
all these great singers from nowhere start coming, like it was Eddie Santiago,
Yeah.
Luis Enrique. Remember Luis Enrique?
Yep. Luis Enrique,
Those
yeah.
are the ones who inspire me. Not
Yeah.
Tito Puente, not Celia Cruz.
Yeah.
That shit. You didn't know about music. You didn't like the old school music. You
Right.
like
The new
the
school.
new generations,
Right.
And then it
Exactly.
became Jerry Rivera and
Right.
DLG and all that shit, and inspire even more people. And Mark Anthony later, became really famous with the Mexican song from Juan Gabriel and salsa.
Right.
And hasta que te conocí.
Oh yes.
And then it became like a revolution, and people
Yeah.
start getting into. They start opening clubs. I start opening the first biggest clubs that it was in Orchids,
Okay.
the Orchids, and
Orchids. Okay.
many clubs. And I
It
was
was-
one of the first ones because nobody else was doing. They were hiring me to teach, and the freaking place was packed with people learning to dance. It means it was
Right.
crazy. I never see so many people interested. And
It
then
was,
other dancers that they were used to go and dance, like Rogelio and everything,
Right.
when they saw that my company was growing and the classes that were full, they start creating their own companies. That's when it started the
Wow.
really good competition between
Right.
us, even between
Yeah.
brothers, like
Yeah, that was
Francisco.
Sportsman's. That's when Sportsman's and
Sportsman's
yeah.
Lodge,
And
that's
then
when
Rodolfo's. Rodolfo's was a big club.
1994
Right.
opened Albert Torres.
You started to have all these other clubs actually pop up. You had the Rodolfo's pop up. You had the Boathouse. These were
Yeah.
all old school
Sharks,
clubs.
remember?
Yes,
Sharks.
yes. Oh, that was back in the day. My first experience was
Yeah.
going to Rodolfo's. That was my first salsa club.
Rodolfo's, the small place, man.
Yes,
That was one
small
of my
place.
favorite places.
Yeah, yeah,
It
that was
was-
an amazing place.
Yeah, and the Sharks. We were used to be there
Sharks,
all
yeah.
the time. with no money, man. I remember no money
Broke.
for drinks, nothing.
Right, right,
Saving money for the gas with whoever was gonna drive. We
right.
just to go, and sometimes we even share one drink between all of us. You know, it was like 3 or 4 guys. I remember, man, and we were waiting for some of the girls. They were just to invite us some drinks to dance with them. You know,
Right. That's
it was a
awesome.
little bit embarrassed, but at the same time, you know, it was nice because they want to dance with us. Like, come on, I invite you a drink. Okay,
That's awesome, dude. And
yeah,
so you like co-founded the
the
first dance
first
company,
ever
ever
dance
dance company, and it
company
was
ever,
yourself.
ever,
It
ever.
was yourself, Joby, and Jeanette. And then from that point,
Exactly.
you guys started to get more people. You got Rudy, you got a bunch of other people into this group, and it,
Yeah,
you know,
but I got so many dancers after that. We were used to have 22 dancers in my dance company. We got to 22 dancers when we became popular because remember we went to Puerto Rico, the first
yeah,
World Salsa Congress
yep,
ever.
yeah,
The thanks to Edie Louis, the girl. She was my student, and she learned to dance. She got so much in love into dancing, and
yeah,
then she created the first salsa web. Remember, it
yeah.
was
The first one,
salsaweb.com.
salsaweb.com. Yeah, that was the first one. That's
The
where you would
first ever
go
salsa website
ever. That's where you would go
ever.
to find lessons, to find clubs. It was the place to go. That was the first one.
And
That's
because
true.
of that, a lot of people find out about Puerto Rico
Yeah,
Congress. It
right.
was created the first one. We went and it changed the people's lives. It means
Yeah,
for forever. And from there it started going crazy. That's when we saw the people from New York and from
right.
other countries, from Italy, that was like, there's salsa in Italy, there's salsa in Japan,
Yeah,
there's
right,
salsa, you know, because it
right,
was really small.
right,
Even there was a few people, nobody was doing anything. And because of us, when we start traveling, because
right,
remember, we were the first ones ever
right,
from that time, not even from New York or anything, not even Eddie Torres was traveling
yeah,
outside. Eddie
right,
Torres became popular after us.
right,
It means he was recognized in New York, but nobody knew. Then these people, they start talking about Eddie Torres,
right,
but we didn't know who he was. It
right,
was somebody that everybody was talking about.
right,
But we
right,
start traveling, and that's why on one it became so popular more than New York at the beginning. You know,
right. It was an
even the New York style has been for such a long time. But
right,
uh, we went to Japan, we went to France for the first time, to Germany for the first. We were the first ones
right,
introducing the LA style, and it was not called LA style. Remember that time nobody
nope,
knew.
yeah,
They were used to, how you call that, salsa.
yeah,
We didn't know that people count. We didn't know nothing.
right,
That you have to count to there was a way of teaching because we didn't learn from anybody. So we didn't know how to teach. We were going front and back, and then we came 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
yeah,
And I was the first one ever. And Francisco, when we went to New York and we came back, we changed it to 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, 7 because
okay,
we learned from Nelson Flores and Adi Torres about the timing.
right,
Because
okay.
we didn't know that there was a
Timing.
so that was a great thing. When we started traveling, the people got in love, and everybody started sending each other the VHS tapes. Remember?
Yeah, yeah. The
Fucking man, I was used to. Super
yeah,
Mario? Super Mario got inspired
yeah,
Super Mario because of a tape. Somebody buy a tape from us for
right,
£5 when we were in UK.
right,
They give it to him as a birthday present.
yeah.
He saw the tape and go like, Luis, you got me into dance. You don't even know. Leon Rossi go like, you don't even know how many freaking people you guys inspired, and now
You
we
did,
live from
man.
this, and we travel all
It,
over the world. But we got
it's
inspired because of you guys. You were the first
yeah,
ones. Like even after we got in on two, but
right,
you go like, if you didn't exist, there was not gonna exist on
right.
two at this moment,
It's true.
or it was not
It's
gonna be
true.
so popular.
Right. It's crazy because when I think back, the group that you guys created, it was almost like a super group because you had all the people that you got in the group were very strong. It wasn't like you had a couple that was okay, they're a little bit weak, or it was everybody can hold their own. So when you started to travel, it just was, everybody was amazing. Oh, they're badass. Luis is badass.
Well,
Joby's badass. Rudy, Ricky. It was a super group, is what it
but
was.
you know what? It was not just that it was a super group.
Mm-hmm.
Other thing that the people don't know, when we went to the first World Salsa Congress, all the groups that they went, there was no mixed people. Let's say
Oh wow.
it was
Okay.
people from Italy, all there were Italians. If it was
Yeah.
from New York, all of them there were Latinos.
Yeah.
Do you
Boricuas or
understand?
whatever. Yeah. Boricuas or whatever. Yeah.
Yeah, Latinos. There was no
Latins, yeah.
like white people, Asian people. It
Right.
didn't exist.
Right.
We were the first dance group created in Los Angeles, and I didn't care who it was. I just cared that they were dancing fine.
Yeah.
So I started having auditions. We were the first ones who created the first auditions, who
Yeah.
created the first work. How you call the um, a work permit? It
Oh,
means
right. Right.
to travel
You
and everything.
travel. Right.
And when we create these things, it start becoming like really popular, and people start adopting those things from other places. They were imitating everything. If we were wearing something, they were gonna wear it in a few months. Everybody was wearing the same shirts, the
Right.
same style. It was really ugly at that time.
Right.
Everybody was into it, but it was really good to see how much whatever you were doing, the people that were getting inspiration. So when I created the group, it was a mix of people. When we went to Puerto Rico on the second year, 1998,
Uh-huh.
the other groups, they saw like where he's from. He's Japanese. I was like, no, he's from Philippines. Remember Joe?
Oh yeah. 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 Yeah.
The Filipino.
The
And
Filipino,
Jerry Bakshan
Gary.
from
Yeah.
he's from Armenia.
Armenia.
And we have from Germany, we have from
Argentino.
the Japanese girl that was
Yeah.
in the company.
Right. Naomi.
We have people from Shanda that was American,
Yeah.
Mexicans, Salvadorians,
Yeah.
Cubans, Puerto Rican. So we were the first group mixed. So they were really impressed. They go like, "Wow, it looks really cool, but they can dance." The mentality was that you have to be Latino, you have to be like this to be able to dance. That was a freaking mentality.
That's crazy.
So when everybody saw our
crazy.
mixed group, they go like, "If they
Right.
can do it, I can do it." Then
It's true because I never really thought about it, but it was the first mixed integrated group out of anybody. It was
exactly.
You know what's crazy is that Shanda was the one that got me into salsa, and Shanda,
really?
Shanda got me into salsa. We grew up together as kids. We were like 13, 14 years old, and we grew up together. And I found out she was teaching in Redondo Beach. I went over there. I haven't seen her like in 12 years, and she was telling me she was dancing for you. I'm dancing for this dance company called Salsa Brava, and I'm like, what the fuck is the Salsa Brava? I don't know what that is. And then she said, you should come down. If you come, come with me. You can check it out. You can record some videos. I would love for you to record some of my videos and dance performances. So I went. The first time I went, I think I went to go see one of your guys' shows, and it blew me away. I was just recording for her, just recording all the performances, and it was amazing the amount of people and just the energy that was behind the scene. It was so raw, and the group was so talented. It was freaking amazing. One thing, the biggest takeaway that I had is that was really unique with Salsa Brava and what you guys created. It was the first group that it was not just a dance performance, but it almost felt like I was watching a live play because of your performances. It was a musical because I felt like, okay, I'm watching, holy shit, they did a dance routine with the theme of baseball, a cop and prisoner routine. You did the Amazon jungle routine. Everything had a theme and a storyline, which was unique. It was almost like you were telling a story and I was watching a movie, which is something very unique that no one has ever done before.
Well, do you know what? It's because when we start dancing, we're in Hollywood, man. We were in Hollywood, and the influence of movies, of musicals, and everything. And for us, when they say, "Can you do a show?" A show was like going to Las Vegas, going to a show.
A show, right?
So you felt like in those 8 minutes, because remember the choreographies at that time, it was between 7-8 minutes.
Right.
They were
Long.
freaking long. Now you
They're
don't want to do
long.
more than 2.5, 3 minutes the
Yeah.
most. And but at that time it was long. So you were used to remember we were the first ones to cut music too. People that don't even know. First one whoever mixed music. That when the people they saw that in other countries, they were like, "How'd you mix the music?" Because when
Oh
we start,
yeah.
the music was like people from New York. They start from the beginning of a song to the end of a
To the
song,
end.
and if
Right.
they dance two songs, it finish one and it starts the next one, and then they did the second song. You know what I mean?
Right.
With us, there was voices,
Yeah.
sounds,
Sound
step.
effects. That's so true. Oh shit. That's right.
We were the first ones ever
Wow.
from Los Angeles who put this thing acting on the stage with we would used to smoke on the freaking stage. Now they don't allow you in any place, but
Right.
before smoking and always there was like part of the acting and everything, and it became popular. That's why it became on one so popular all over the world really
Yeah.
fast because it was really attractive. It was so contagious. I mean, it was when you saw for the first time, anybody was like, "Boom! I want to learn this shit."
Right.
It was like that, and it became like an explosion, man. It became so
It did.
freaking huge and big,
It
and everybody started imitating and acting the same and it became even more popular. Other people they start coming with ideas. We were the first ones with the choreography being more clean than other people. It means more because of my ex-wife, Joby. She was so
yeah.
perfectionist
Yeah.
because she was into jazz and Janet a
Yeah.
little bit. That they were the girls that were more clean. The guys we were not so much because we didn't learn from anybody. We didn't, but we tried to do the group as much as we could, tight and uh, trying to look good and on the stage, with hands. But when we
Yeah.
saw the people from New York and from other places, we were like, oh shit, because they had already experienced dancing as groups.
They had the
And
timing
then we
down.
start
They had
like, okay,
everything.
now we need to
Right.
get more into it. And that's when I start having auditions for dancers, and people start coming from Canada, from Australia, from Japan for the auditions
Right.
to move to Los Angeles. I have people they move from Japan, from other countries to be in the dance company.
Wow.
And I say, I
Wow.
cannot pay you for an apartment, nothing. This
Right.
company is just for dancing. You can make some money because remember, until now, I was the only company who used to pay the dancers to teach, to perform, wherever they were going. And I buy the costumes for them. I mean, they didn't pay for any costumes. When I
Wow.
got divorced from my ex-wife, we spent over $200,000 in costumes, and
That doesn't
all
happen
the
today.
costumes they were
Wow.
ours, but the dancers they spent only money on their shoes. That's it.
That doesn't happen today.
No, of course not.
Yeah.
No, you
Wow.
have to buy your own
You
costume.
have to buy your own costume. Absolutely. Wow, man. The group, the dance company, it made such a huge impact that I don't know if you even realize this, but I made a video. You've seen the video, and it
Yes,
was
of course. That's one
and,
of the few that is only there.
right, and it was a collection of all the videos that I recorded, with Shanda using her camera, my camera. And what amazes me is that if you go and watch that video, I think I uploaded it February 2009. Today, it almost has 30,000 views.
Oh well.
That one video, and it blows me
Mhm.
away. And that really is a testament to how big the group got, because everyone who is watching the video, oh, this is the group from LA, and it just got so huge. It blows me
Yeah.
away to this day. It's like, wow,
Well,
this
the thing that is there was no it means there was no YouTube, no
right
Facebook,
back
no
then. Yeah,
WhatsApp, no nothing like that, and the quality of the videos too.
yeah, it's true.
That almost everybody have it is really poor
The
quality.
camcorders, yeah, the quality
Remember, they
was
were
really
just too
low.
big.
The
There
big
was a time there
camcorders,
was when I started dancing, there was a big camera put in on your shoulder to
yeah,
record.
right,
Only and somebody was holding a freaking light on the side, a big
yeah,
light, like
right,
going hunting or something. And then it became the smaller cameras. You will still put it somehow on your shoulder to
right,
record the small one. And then it became smaller, smaller, smaller. Now look at the freaking phones, and everybody can become popular
right.
in a second just on fucking Instagram and all that shit, on YouTube. But
everyone
when we
has
start,
it a lot easier now. Everyone has it
the
a lot
way the
easier.
people find out, imagine if the people really take a little bit of time to realize how it became so popular all over the world, because it was already, it means in a couple of years it became so popular. I have friends, they told me in Russia and other places that they got a VHS, let's say somebody was making a copy of a copy of a copy of a
Right.
copy. They show me sometimes what they were used to watch. It was almost impossible to see.
Right. Right.
Because remember when you were used to make a copy of a copy of a
It
copy,
gets faded.
the quality,
It gets really bad.
And it was amazing how the people were used to make copies, and they were sending to other friends to see them. And some of them, they send it to somebody that was living in another country and go like, you need to see this shit. This is it, you know? In the same way that when I went back from Puerto Rico and I told all the students, remember you went to Puerto Rico one time, I said, you need to come and see this shit. This is amazing. If we think that we cannot, you need to see the other dancers too from other countries. This is magical. Yeah. And I think I brought like 198 people. Remember when we went one time to Puerto Rico, 198 people from Los Angeles.
Yep.
We were the biggest group in Puerto Rico.
Yeah.
And they didn't pay anything for us. We were just to pay all our tickets, everything ourselves.
Right.
You know, nobody was paying us to do something. Remember, Albert Torres didn't pay us either, almost never.
Right.
When I asked him for the freaking gas one time to pay for the gas, he became upset and everything. Like, how can you charge me? Who do you think you are? I go like, fuck, I'm doing a show for your place for free. And these places getting packed.
Right.
It means the people that we used to go and see it, you're making so much money and you don't even want to give me fucking $20 for the gas. I'm spending my own money to go and work for you for free. Right. She's like, it doesn't make sense, no?
Yeah.
It was really funny.
And it was a time where you got so popular. The group got so popular. LA style got so popular. It started spreading like wildfire throughout the world. And after you ended the group, I think, was it 2004, 2005?
2004.
2004? Would you say that's around the time about between 2004 and 2009 where you started to see a lot of people start to leave LA to different parts of the states or the country? Was it around that time?
Yes.
Okay.
That's when we dissolved the group, when we finished with the group, it was May 2004. Because everything started because of the divorce. That was really the reason. Right. When me and Joe finished the relationship, it was really tough. We tried. Both of us to keep the group together and to stay together as a business partners.
Right.
But it was too much pain. It was very difficult. So we decided to say goodbye to the group in 2004. Man, I have the video there, crying and hugging and everything. And that's it. From that moment, in 2006, that's when I moved to Europe. I came only supposed to be for 1 year, but I like it so much because I was used to travel and I was used to like this place so much. And then I stay. And then after that, the people, they say, oh, no. And then Johnny left in 2001 before me or something like that. Okay. Then me. And then Rogelio stopped traveling all over the world. And somehow, the only person who was keeping the LA style alive, it was my brother Francisco, man.
Yeah, that's true.
And then you cannot do it if you don't have other people who support you like anything else. Then more people start dancing on too. Yeah. And then a lot of people from New York, Sion, other dancers, they start moving to LA. And that's when it started the revolution on too, you know?
Yeah.
Because we move away. Remember, Alex De Silva stopped teaching too, and then he got into travel and all that shit. So the main dancers, Josie Negla, never did anything else. She got to a point, she got more into the business side, that she forgot to really improve her dancing and do more for the community.
For the community in LA.
Edith the Salsa Freak moved to another place. Liquid Silver moved to another place. I mean, everybody left Los Angeles, and that's it. That's when when everything went down for the LA style over there in California, you know.
It went down
So,
for LA, but it went to different parts of the world, and that's when it
oh
started
yeah,
to
yeah, yeah. No,
grow
no, no. It means
all over the
till
world,
now, wherever you
which is
go, there's still
interesting.
people dancing on one.
Right.
Even most of the people they even the people who teach on two here in Europe,
Yeah.
they start with their students on one, and when they get good on one, then they teach them on two. So most of the people here, they know how to dance on one and on two, but then from there the people whatever likes, they go. But most of the people, they start with Cuban,
Oh,
LA,
okay.
and finish
Okay.
dancing on two.
Okay.
That's the process that I'm
Okay.
telling you.
Nice.
And you have a reason to, you know. On two is it's it's a different feeling and everything. That
Right.
is nice to. It's almost like bachata now with the Dominican bachata or sensual
Right.
bachata. I'm
Yeah.
doing bachata, bro. My biggest classes are bachata too. I got into it.
Really?
Remember?
Okay.
Uh, yeah, yeah. I've been dancing for years. Later, I sent you
Awesome.
some videos and everything dancing bachata,
Yeah.
and it became so popular and everything. But still, I'm not the promoter. And on one, I dance on two. I dance Cuban, you know, because you as a dancer, you need
Right.
to
You need to know
always
everything.
improve.
Right.
And then I stopped performing in 2013. 6 years ago, I stopped performing, and then I became an MC because people that were used to ask me since 8 or 9 years ago, and I've
Okay.
been doing it a lot here in Europe. No,
What?
remember, even in LA, I started doing some sketches when I dress as a
You
girl and
did.
doing something. But then I became so popular as an MC here, and the funniest thing, there was no MCs. Everything was Albert Torres, you know, announcing, ladies and
Right.
gentlemen. You know,
Right.
there was even in Europe, he was an MC here. I start doing the MC, and people that start calling me like right now, where I
Right.
make most of my money is teaching. They take me to the events to MC and teach, you know, because I still bring students, the people they still want the original dancers from LA, blah blah blah. But I became so popular in MC here in Europe. There's only three MCs. The most popular in all over Europe is Farid, that is from France,
Yeah.
Moflex, that is from UK, and
Okay.
me. Yeah, I'm
Really?
from LA, you know, from Mexico.
Wow.
And we are. It means all the events they fight to have us. It means I can work every weekend in a different country just as an MC and go and teach because the demand is so big. But I can. So my fiance told me, the relationship, or
Wow.
your business, traveling. So I travel only twice a month. I still travel twice a month.
Yeah.
But those people that they became MCs, they told me, you know what, Luis? Because you start doing MC, somehow we said, oh, if he can do it, I can do it. Because they
You
were
inspired
dancers
them.
too,
You
but they saw
inspired them.
themselves
Yeah.
quitting soon the performance scene,
Right.
and they go like, we don't want to perform anymore. And
Right.
then they were really funny and good with the microphone.
Yeah.
And they became, and now we're the three most successful MCs. And now there's other dancers. They tell me, I want to become MC like you. Do you think what advices you can give me and everything? Because some of them they know that they are not going to be able to dance forever,
Right.
you know. But
Right.
being MC, I can be 60 years old, I can still, you know, somehow. So I don't know. It's so funny. I stopped dancing, and now as an MC, I start motivating other people who wants to become MCs like me. You know,
That's
so.
fucking awesome, man. Because I know you emceed the Croatian salsa festival. There's a lot. 'Cause I think you did the Switzerland. You emceed Switzerland, right? There's a few of them that you're. I've seen social media.
I've been MCing so many
Yeah.
in UK
Wow.
and France and Italy and Germany and Israel and Beirut, Lebanon. Right now,
Nice.
I go every year. One of the really Croatian Summer Salsa Festival,
Right.
Beirut, Lebanon Latin Festival.
Mhm.
Those are freaking the bomb. And Eurodance Festival that is in Germany in
Yeah.
Freiburg. It's freaking amazing. But here it's every weekend there's a festival, man. It's huge here
That's crazy. Wow.
in Europe. It's huge.
Europe is so much bigger than LA now. It's crazy.
Oh yeah, no,
Like I
yeah.
would have never.
It means for
thought.
clubs, it's still LA. There's lots of clubs, and I like that. But here there's lots of events, and the people goes and the people pay for that, and the people wants to learn and everything. When in LA, it's not like that. Now the people they just want to go and dance. The classes are not so successful for the teachers,
Right.
and people, they don't like to pay much to go and to a dance event and learn like before, you know.
Yeah.
So it really changed a lot. But here, no, the people still taking classes, and it's so freaking big. But now with the bachata, it's like it's even more because the
It's
salsa
bigger.
dance and is
Yeah.
mixed with bachata. So now at this moment, the bachata is bigger than the salsa. You know.
Right. Yeah. Same here.
So,
Yeah. It seems like same here in LA. Dude,
mm.
fucking, it's,
But it's just a moment. It's just
it
a
is.
little moment.
It is. Right. Dude, it seems like today you really have inspired a new generation of dancers and dance companies all over Europe, man. How does that make you feel, man? It's a big thing.
Well, it's funny because even the new companies
Yeah.
somehow their instructor or their choreographers and everything they sometimes they tell them, you know, about us, but there's not many videos of us. So
Yeah.
really, people, they don't know much. I'm the only one who have a few videos of good quality because of Puerto Rico and
Right.
everything, but I never put it on YouTube or anything. It's more like you or the people who did something like that, but there's no really videos or anything. So now I can
Wow.
say then most of the people, they don't know now.
Yeah.
Now most of the people, the new generations, they don't know nothing about it. Only when we have like there's festivals that we have a salsa history,
Hmm.
and that's when the people go like, holy guacamole. O sea, somehow if we are here, it's because of these people. If they didn't
Right.
exist, there was not gonna be this thing that it happens all over the world. People
Wow.
who, okay, even the bachata dancers, the most famous bachata dancers, they were salsa dancers.
Right.
And that's
At
what
one
the
point.
people, the
Right.
new bachateros, they don't understand. It's like, really? Corky and Judith, Ataque la Alemana, Daniela Desiree, this one and this one, they can go like, they were salseros. Yes, they were salseros, but they couldn't make it in the salsa world because it was very difficult because it was too many good names at that moment.
Yeah.
And
Right.
when they changed to bachata, they
It was an
became so
opportunity.
popular. And
Yeah.
they didn't like it, the bachata, but they did it only to see and try. And nobody was doing bachata at that moment. And Ataque la Alemana, they became so freaking popular because of a
Yeah.
video. They even told me the
Right.
stories, you know. It's like,
Right.
but they still love salsa. You know?
Wow. It's huge. So, dude.
Even the kizomba right now, the
Yeah,
kizomba is
Kizumba. Yeah, it's huge. Kizumba, Zouk. It's huge. It's huge. Is that really popular in Europe? Or it's
yeah, it
popular?
is.
Is it really?
Souk, not so much. I mean,
Okay.
it's smaller than kizomba, but kizomba is freaking huge. But it's still, whenever you go, there's festivals here only for kizomba, only
Yeah.
for bachata, only for salsa, or mix. The
Okay.
most of the festivals, they are very smart, and they do a mix because it brings more people. There's events here for 10,000, 12,000 people, you know. And
Wow.
but the smallest ones, it brings at least 5 to 1,000 people. The smallest events, you know.
Okay.
So,
Okay. Wow. So, dude, what are you doing today? I know you're married. You have a son. How long have you been
yeah.
married?
Well, I'm not married.
Oh, you're not
After my
married.
divorce, I'd say
Okay.
no more
Okay.
marriage, you know.
Okay.
I live with my fiance. We've been together for 10 years.
Wow. Okay. Awesome.
Yeah,
That's
in November is going to be 10 years.
Awesome.
But we've been living together for the last 8 years.
Nice.
I moved
Awesome.
from Italy. When I was living in Italy, I moved here. We have a son that is 8 years old. His name is Unique. And
Nice.
and that's it, man. I'm happy.
That's awesome.
I'm happy. She's an amazing lady. Helps me so much with the business. Like
That's awesome.
she's involved into dancing, but more into the business side. You know, she's really good with the how you say
The financial aspect of it, the marketing, the
especially the marketing.
marketing.
She's really,
Okay.
really, really
Good.
amazing
Okay.
because she studied marketing somehow.
Oh, that's
She's
great.
really good, and
Okay.
an amazing mother,
Wow.
and you know, I'm happy here in Sweden, man. It's an amazing country, really,
Awesome.
really cool country. You know, you feel really safe here. If your kids they studies for free, you know, at the
That is
university.
great. How's the
Not like in
healthcare?
America, when I was my daughter was born, I have to save
Yeah.
money, and I spent so much money for, I can say, almost for nothing
Education. Yeah.
for education. I spent
Yeah.
most of my savings And at the end, look, she didn't finish. I mean, she's doing great and everything, but I'm
Right.
saying it's something really, really sad. If you get sick and everything, the government help you a lot. You don't have to
Right.
pay much for medicines, things like that.
Is,
They
is it
really, you pay
is it
lots of
free?
taxes, but
What's the
what you get in
healthcare?
return is worth it.
What's the healthcare? Is it free? Pretty much.
Most is free. Exactly.
Wow.
The kids,
Wow.
they don't pay until they are 18 years old.
Okay.
Nothing when they go to the doctors and all that.
Yeah.
You too, you just pay a very small amount of money. Like if even for operations and everything.
Right.
Like my brother Francisco got sick in Italy. It means the appendicitis. Appendicitis is
Oh,
called,
wow.
I think.
That's serious.
And it means when he got there the first day, he got already, because my brother would just do it really bad and everything still. But
Yeah.
anyway, he got the appendicitis and he went to the doctor and they say, shit, this is ready to explode. We have to operate. So
Oh shit.
they did it in Italy. He got better and they charge him zero, nothing.
What?
And they say, in America it was going to be like 25,000
Yeah.
for that shit.
Yeah.
And he was
Exactly.
like, what? He goes like, it's like God sent you to Italy to get sick, to have the operation here for free because he didn't have any money. And I say, do you see the difference of living in Europe and America? What about if that happened in America with what
25,000,
money you were going to
30,000.
pay?
Yeah. Yeah. You have to pay the whole thing. You have payments for the next 15 years. Yeah.
And
it's crazy.
here, you don't pay nothing.
Wow. So you have
Sometimes you just pay the whatever after the medicine
taxes
that
of
you
the
have to buy,
medicine,
and that's
right?
it.
Wow.
But the work of the being at the hospital, the ambulance, nothing. You don't pay nothing. It's part of that. You pay lots of taxes, but they really take care of their people. There's no homeless like over there. You know what I
Right.
mean?
Yeah.
If there is a few homeless, it's people that are coming from Romania, gypsies, what they call.
Oh,
Because
okay.
even the government give them money. These people, they like to be on the street because there was cases in some of the countries that they give them apartments
Uh-huh.
and they put the freaking horses inside the apartment and they went outside and put a tent like the circus, because they like to live like that. For them, it's more comfortable to be on the street.
Oh shit! Oh wow!
What the fuck, But so when you see a few
Oh,
people,
shit.
it's really street. Here, the
Interesting.
government cannot allow to be somebody homeless because it says, "Why are you homeless when we are helping you?"
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right. Wow.
That's more like a freaking option. If you want to be, it's because you want to, not because you don't
want
have.
to be.
They give
Right.
you an apartment, they give you shelter, they give you food, they give you everything. And
Wow.
prisons, they closed 2 prisons last year because there's no prisoners. It means it costs more to the state to keep the prison open when there's no people going to jail. Because here, if you go to jail, they prepare the people to get out of prison, to have a job, to be good for the society. When in America is a
completely
business,
different,
and they keep you there
different.
for like an animal. And when you get out from there, you don't
Right.
find a job,
You're
and you
fucked
become
up.
more angry. You become using drugs or killing or fucking abusing drugs, and
Right.
you become crazy, man.
Prisons in the U.S. are more of a business. They make money off you. Yeah, it's a business.
Imagine how many people they are ruining their lives. It's not just the people that is in prison, but it's their families,
their
bro.
families,
Sometimes
their
the
loved
families
ones.
depends from that person.
Yeah, the wife, the kids, everybody. It's
So
sad.
here they see America like wow, such an amazing country, but at the same time, it goes like it's stupid. Like Donald Trump, they say, I can see that America, they're very smart in some things and very stupid like Hollywood. They go like, look at the kind of president you have.
Right.
And look at the kind of system you have with such a powerful country.
Right.
And that's why somehow it's little by little, that's it is going down, bro. America, China's coming strong, and Russia, and there's other countries that are coming really strong. And now even Mexico, bro, with the new president.
The new president.
You'll
He's doing
see
good.
how fucking amazing.
He's doing
the
good.
things that he's doing is freaking amazing. You'll see.
He's doing good, man. So you have a dance company? And now, or
no. I'm tired
are you
of
thinking
that,
about it? You don't want to do dance?
I train.
companies?
I train people to dance and
Cool.
I have a performance group that I get my students, and they perform for 3 months here locally.
Awesome. Okay.
And then another 3, and then after 6 months, I get another group. I have an audition, but it's just for students, people they never perform or anything, so they can
that's
get
cool.
the idea how it feels to be on stage.
Okay.
And because I travel, sometimes I get them not a job, but the opportunity to perform in some other countries.
Yeah.
And but it's temporary. It's not the same dancers. It's always
Right.
new dancers,
Right.
and I do it just for fun. And I'm teaching. I have my dance school here. I teach Mondays and Tuesdays. Then I have a
Awesome.
social. It was yesterday.
Nice.
I have a social that is on Thursdays. It's
Okay.
like a club, and there's a party and everything, and that's it. And then on the weekends I travel. So
That's awesome. And you still travel, you said twice a month at
yeah,
least?
I
Yeah.
get 22 to 24 jobs a year. I cannot allow more because
It's too
of
much.
I have a family and everything.
Yeah. It's
And
a,
one of the things that really ruined somehow my life before with Jovi and everything,
yeah.
it was the traveling, bro. We were traveling. Right now it's been like 123 or 127 countries that I've been going in my
Wow.
life. And most of the countries I've been repeating it, some of them
Wow.
20 times, some of them 10 times, some of them 3 4 times.
Yeah.
So imagine. So I was traveling when I got divorced from Joby, and I started doing my own thing with Melissa and everything. 10 months of the year, every single week in a different country. One time I woke up in a hotel
Wow.
and I didn't know where I was. It was dark, and it took me a couple of minutes, and I went to check the name of the hotel and which country I was, because I woke up and I was like, shit, because I was traveling
Holy fuck.
Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, come back on Monday, being
Wow.
there Tuesday and Wednesday. Sometimes I was traveling on Thursday to another country, so I was almost
Holy
never
shit.
in the apartment in Italy, and it became too much, but but I love it. But when I met my fiance, she told me, you know what, you don't want to ruin the relationship and your
Yeah.
son. So now I even travel with them in some of the events in the summer. So
Yeah.
I'm really lucky because
That's
we're
awesome.
still really, really big, man. It means our name, if you come to Europe, everybody knows. I think I can say more now than the United States.
Yeah.
You
That's
know,
awesome.
if I
That's
go
awesome.
to America, it's like, who's that guy or anything. But here you come,
Yeah.
and it's freaking huge. Still, the Vazquez and my brother John is still freaking awesome. I'm gonna send you
Yeah.
some videos of him.
Yeah.
He's singing and everything.
That's awesome.
So, and Francisco comes here every year. He comes and do a tour for 2 3 months in Europe. So
Yeah.
still the people knows him very, very well.
Yeah.
So
That's awesome.
we are the only at this moment LA dancers who still represent
Awesome.
the old school ones, and it's still somehow like Eddie Torres.
That's amazing.
We still, so all the dancers that like Rogelio, the dancer, Josie Negla, my ex-wife, now nobody remembers them. It means even if you mention this, who are they? If you
Yeah.
mention the Vazquez, we still inspire new generation. I have kids in different places. They come, really small ones. They heard about us. They want to
That's
learn from
great.
us, and they're freaking amazing dancers of 12 years old. The new generation.
Wow. The
So
new
they're gonna
generation.
still keep in LA, or not just that. Even if they learn on two in the future,
Right.
remember the old school
The
dancer
old
somehow.
school. The foundation. And you have a new generation of dancers. There's so many dancers today. There's so many dance companies, not just in LA, but in Europe, everywhere.
Yeah,
It's
it's so
crazy.
much.
It's crazy. And what kind of advice can you give a person that wants to become a teacher or a performer or own their own dance company?
Do it with your heart. Be yourself. Be kind.
Yeah.
Whatever you do, your students, they're gonna reflect on you. So it means
Wow.
if you're an asshole, they're gonna learn to be assholes. Trust me.
Right.
Sometimes they wanna even imitate you, the way you dress, the way you dance, the way you walk.
Right.
It's amazing. So it's almost like my son. I can create a monster, or I can create an amazing human being.
Wow.
So I teach him kindness to other people. I'm still the old school that you open the door for the lady, you let the lady go first. If I'm in the bus, I give the seat to older people, to how you call, to kids,
Right.
to disabled person. It means
Right.
in dancing, you have to teach them like that. The dancing is about having fun. The day that they don't have fun, then you're not doing a good job. If you see
Yeah.
that your students happy and you see the work that you're doing and it reflects on the dance floor and it reflects on their personalities
Yeah.
and they say thank you with the years, you know what kind of a job you're doing, you know? And I still get so many
Wow.
emails and everything. People say, thank you, you changed my life. Until now, new
Wow.
students, they got married, they met in my classes and they tell me, can you choreograph my wedding, you know? And I still do it, and
Wow.
it's really cool to see all those things. It means people they come and go like, I heard about you. I thought that you were like 70 years old because people they talk like that you are the dinosaur. And when they see me, it's like, fuck, you look young. You know, how old are you? I'm like 47. No freaking way. You're like, you know, and I say, yeah, I'm 47. Wow, I thought that you were older because everybody, oh, this guy. And I saw you like a really tall person, you
Right.
know, and you're so small because I'm a small guy. And then we start laughing. I go like, yeah, I know, because whatever they hear, they picture like this tall man and
Right.
really old
Right.
somehow.
Oh my
So even
God.
people they told me, I thought you were even older than Eddie Torres. You know, it was funny. It's like,
Oh my God. You're like, no, I'm 27. I'm
yeah,
27.
yeah,
Look,
yeah.
look
You
at, look
know,
at, I'm
yeah, I know.
27.
Yeah, I'm 40. I tell them I'm 47, but I feel 25, man. It's like I'm still have so much energy. I'm still go to the festivals. I'm the first ones to get the first one to get there and the last one to leave. And the promoters that they know me, they go like, fucker, not even the new dancers can do that. How can you do it? And you still social dance the whole freaking night. How do you do it? I go like, this keeps me in shape. This
Yeah.
keeps me alive. If I
Yeah.
don't, I still enjoy it. That's why I do it. But I'm
That's
saying, I
that's
think if I
great.
wasn't doing that, I was going to get older faster and
Right.
fat and everything, you know? So,
That's very important. Dude, what
yeah.
Luis, what are some things that people should consider not doing as they pave their way towards success as a dancer? Some things that people should look out for that they shouldn't do, like based on your experiences throughout the years.
They shouldn't do.
Yeah.
Well, one thing for sure, don't do this only because of a business.
Ah,
You know what I mean? If
right.
you're thinking to just become famous, there's nothing wrong if you want to become recognized and everything. That's really cool. But
Yeah.
if you're thinking just because that's the only reason, um, it's not going to be good.
Yeah.
Or it's not going to be for a long time. You're going to disappear really fast. When you
Wow.
do it with your heart and everything, because you like it, you love it, it's going to come. Even if it's going to be hard or and all that,
Yeah.
all you have to do is work hard for what you want,
Yeah.
but not put the mentality on the money side, because when we did it, we didn't think about money or anything. We did it because we just love to dance.
You love to
There was no
dance.
money at that time,
Right.
nothing. It was, you know, later it became the money, like it was nice and everything, but
Right.
we never did it, and never change your freaking attitude. You have to be humble. You need to be very kind to people,
Yeah.
because the people they're going to remember you. My mom told me, do you want the people to
Wow.
remember you as a good dancer or as a good person? And I say both. So then
Wow.
be both, you know?
That your mom
So
said that? That's so fucking
yeah,
powerful. Wow.
of course. That was like, because she
Wow.
asked me, you know? And I was like, damn, that's why I say both. And I say,
Wow.
so then be both. Be a good dancer and be a good person. But
Oh,
like, you want to have
that's
friends?
wow.
You want to have friends? Be friendly. You want to have enemies? Be an asshole and you see you're gonna get lots of enemies, you know. So until now, most of the people can say only good things about us. That
Yeah.
there's haters that all they can say is bad things about dancing. Oh, they got all this, you know. These are
Right.
people that don't have. The people who talk the most are the people who are the worst dancers and all
Right.
that.
Right.
You know
That's
what I mean?
true. That's
But
true.
people who really appreciate, like Eddie Torres, you're never gonna hear Eddie Torres only good things talking about us. Nelson Flores, all the biggest dancers in the world, they're gonna say good things.
Yeah.
But there's always other people that they're gonna talk shit. But the best is be yourself. Don't do it because of money, and don't don't kill yourself in a way that you put the work first. Always
Mm.
family, if you have a family, first.
Yeah.
And that's gonna make you stronger on your dance and everything, because you're gonna think on your family, and you're going to be like, I'm going to be a good dancer, I'm going to work my ass in this because
Right.
of my family, because the family goes first. Otherwise you can lose your family thinking just about the business or
Wow.
being famous, and
That's deep.
you can be famous on YouTube in a second, but
Yeah.
only for a little bit, and then there's another one. But the
Right.
to get to the top is not that difficult. To stay here on the top, that's freaking
That's
difficult.
difficult. Right. Right. What do you think is the most important thing that you learned during your journey as a professional dancer, just throughout the years that you can share?
Traveling.
Traveling. Really? Okay. Awesome.
Traveling, it opens.
Wow.
I learned to not discriminate. To That's when I
Wow.
didn't care about religion. I was just
Wow.
supposed to
That's
be
awesome.
be
Okay.
Catholic.
Yeah.
I quit being religious. I quit about governments. I quit. I didn't care about those things. I learned about humanity. It means
Wow.
I learned so many things that people, when I was in America, was used to think one way,
Yeah.
because I left from Mexico thinking one way. Then I got to America and I thought that America was everything. But
Right.
then in America, that's the country that I felt more discriminated than any other place. All the years that I was living there, giving so much to America, because
Yeah.
they make me feel that they made me feel because of America, and yes, because of America, but because of my work. You know what I mean?
Right.
And
Right.
and
Right.
and uh, and I felt that I give so much too, but that's one of the places that I feel more discriminated most of my life when I was there. And traveling, it opened my eyes to not discriminate, to see that America is freaking beautiful and everything, and that
Wow.
we're a multicultural country, but at the same time, sometimes we're really close-minded because we're just there. And if all the people that were able to travel over the world, trust me, it was going to be so easy to understand each other. But
Wow.
that's why I don't watch news, because news, they can
Wow.
put shit on your
That's
head,
true. Yeah.
and television, and they control everything, and they make you believe whatever they want. But when you travel, you see the other side. Like, I didn't know
Wow.
about Sweden or anything,
Yeah.
and now that I'm here, I'm like, wow, if America was like this, it was going to be perfect. It was going to be the perfect country ever, the most powerful
Wow.
country. It is. But there's so many bad things and everything. The same with Mexico, the same with this
Right.
country. They have, the weather is not so nice. And you say, the people, they say, if we were having the weather that California had, this was going to be the perfect country in the world too, with the economy and everything.
Right.
But
Right.
there's no
Wow.
perfection. But traveling, it opens for me to learn about food, to learn about culture, to not
Yeah.
discriminate. I've been in countries that they were like in war, and like in Israel and Lebanon, and I've been
Yeah.
in other places that the people, they you didn't expect, and the mentality that I was having about those people. And when I was there, I saw that we're exactly the same. Everybody wants peace. Everybody wants to live
Wow.
fine and everything. Everything
That's
have to do
awesome.
with the government. That's why I don't get into
Wow.
government and religion,
Right.
because they're the
Right.
ones who destroy the world, man.
Wow. That's amazing. Just to travel really changed your perspective about culture and
Yes, the
life.
best. The best,
Wow.
to see how beautiful is the world, because sometimes we are in our own. It's almost like in America. If you travel over America, you're gonna
Yeah.
see every state is different. You're gonna see
Hmm.
how beautiful it is. You
It's
go to
hard.
America,
Yeah.
they
It's
have
hard to
everything,
judge. It's true.
everything.
You go everywhere, it's going to be hard to judge anybody because you're open to different culture and different ways of living.
Yes,
It's
here
wow.
they're
It's
very
so important.
open. Here they're very open. Uh,
Wow.
Here, you feel so safe to walk on the street. It's education. They start from the kids. And I just thought the government, like I told you, if they didn't have so many prisons and everything, the people that were going to be better. Trust me. But they try to make it look like that they're bad people. And trust
Yeah.
me, they can be bad people. But like in everything, you need your second chance. Like in a marriage, like in a friendship, you can fuck up with your friend, and all you have to
Right.
say is sorry and give the second chance.
Right.
Not because of and but I think that's one of the things that it became in America. Everything is about business,
Yeah.
and you don't care much about anything else. That the family dissolved, and that's really sad.
Yeah.
Compare here, the value is very important. Like in Sweden, family, and they don't talk about money. If you talk about money, let's say if I'm with somebody and I talk about money, oh,
Hmm.
I make this money, they hate it. They turn around and they leave you talking alone. And they tell you straight
Wow.
up, it's like, why you, that's why everybody, most of the people here, since you're a little kid, they teach you not to make somebody feel less than you, because they try
Wow.
to be that everybody feels really equal. So if there's a rich person in my class, he never talk about money. He never dress more than another ones. He never comes with a big car. They buy a normal car to show that it's a car that he needs for a job, not to show off. So,
Wow.
but the new immigrants that they come from other countries, they buy a new car to show, and that's when you see
Right.
the difference. It's like, wow,
Right.
the immigrant
Right.
that never had anything, now he wants to show off they have a car, nice
Right.
car. But the one that is the richest one from
Don't show off.
IKEA,
Right.
he's gonna be driving a bicycle like everybody else, and you don't even know how much freaking money he had because he never showed it. He doesn't care, and he learned that he feels bad even to talk about it because that's what he learned since he was a little kid.
Yeah.
So
Big
it's really cool
difference.
the way the mentality completely different. Man.
One thing that I want to mention is that you have a certain way of of how you carry yourself as a person. What I remember from you is that you've always been positive. You've always made the effort to always be nice to people, just everywhere. That's one thing that I do remember from you. It really says a lot about a person. And this goes back to the quote that your mom actually said about, do you want to be known as a good dancer or as a nice person? And I remember back in the day in the salsa scene, there's always been certain dancers where they would carry themselves a little too high. They would think a little bit more of themselves, and they would treat people in a certain way. And I would hear stories over the years from just different people. In the last 20 years, I would hear, oh, well, this person is this way. And it was really interesting to hear so many positive things about people, but on the other side of that, a lot of negative things from certain people about how they carry themselves or how they treat people. And one thing that what I found pretty surprising and pretty shocking, and that every person had nothing but good, positive things to say about you. There's not one person that would say a negative thing. When I hear your name, it's always positive. Oh, I learned so much from Luis. He was very inspiring. He was very inspiring. He was so nice to me when I danced with them, and that's rare to have, because the sad thing is that today you have a lot of dancers that just they carry themselves so high, and they treat people really, really bad. And I want to share something with you. I don't know if you remember this, but I always believe that you're a reflection. The way you carry yourself is a reflection of who you are as a person.
Mm.
At the Croatia Salsa Festival, there was a gentleman that came up to you, and he was excited to meet you. Never met you before. He came up to you and introduced himself. And he said, hey, my name is Caesar. Don't know if you remember the conversation. He said, my name is Caesar from Mendoza. I'm from LA. And you responded to him so happy, so positive. You said, oh, hermano, you're from LA. Oh, and you hugged him. And during that conversation that you had, there was a girl within your group of people that were hanging with you that said something about, I don't like LA dancers because they're too flashy. And he felt like she totally busted his bubble. He felt like so down, but he said that you stepped in and you said, hey, you shouldn't judge people as far as where they're from. It's all dancing. It doesn't matter. And it really made a huge impression on him. And he told me about this, and I was like, wow, really? And he goes, yeah, man, Luis just stood up and said that, and it really made me feel good. And then I was able to dance, and it was awesome for him to say that. And he goes, man, he's fucking good people. That was the first time I came up to him and met him, and I was like, wow. So it was really inspiring, to hear that from him, and that just goes to show you that you made such an impact on people in a positive way,
But you know what? It's because it's so easy to be nice, man.
Yeah,
It is,
right.
it's almost like to go to a party and you go to a party and you go with the mentality of having fun, you're gonna
Right.
have fun.
Right. Right.
You go already with the being arrogant, being mad with yourself or with life or whatever, you're
Right.
gonna ruin the party, or you're just not gonna have fun,
Right.
and you're gonna pass that bad energy. So when you dance, like when I dance, I try to pass that good energy. Every dance, I don't care, it can be the worst dancer or a beginner.
Right.
I
Right.
said that moment that I'm dancing those 3 minutes, I'm gonna make you feel that she's not gonna forget this moment and always remember this dance somehow, the way
Right.
that I make that person feel, and that
Right.
makes me feel good. It's almost like sexually, sounds really funny, when you please the
Right.
girl.
Right.
And if you
Right.
please the girl,
Right.
you're happy because you pleased the damn girl. You
Right.
didn't think about yourself first, you think about that person. So
Right.
dancing and in life, if you think about the people and you make them feel good, it make you feel good. Whatever I do for my son and I see him happy,
Right.
I do it for him. I'm not
Right.
thinking to do it for myself. And then whatever I get in return is freaking amazing. And that makes me feel good. You know what
That's
I mean?
awesome. That's
So
awesome.
you have to be kind. That's what I'm telling you. The traveling opened my eyes. But
Yeah.
I've been always like that since I know my brother Johnny,
Yeah.
my brother Francisco. They are incredible, kind people and everything.
Right.
Sometimes maybe Francisco became a little bit more angry with many people because of the dancing, and they
Right.
don't give him the credit. It's so funny because now all the people, they get more credit than us
Right.
after we did so much. There's people who receive awards and different things, even
Right.
here.
Right.
And people go like, wow, you don't feel bad that he was somebody who got inspired by you and now he's getting this award and you are not getting it. It's so funny. I said, yeah, because now he dances on two. It means in this event they're giving, on
Right.
two. But it's so funny that whatever you give, you receive. And
Right.
I hate when the people talk about on one, on two. I tell them just freaking dance. It's like, no,
Yeah.
I don't dance with you because you're black or because you're short or because you're fat or because
Right.
you're skinny. And just freaking dance.
Right.
And trust me, you're gonna have an amazing surprise instead of being complaining. And I tell the people, you want to be a better dancer, then learn to dance everything. And that's why I'm
Yeah.
still dancing. I dance Cuba and dance on
Yeah.
two. When some dancers, the old school dancers, when they see me dancing on two, it's like, you dance on two? I go like, of course. What's the problem?
Right.
Editores can dance on one.
Right. Right.
Oh, but I would never see him dancing on Galo because everybody thinks that you have to be only on two. So
Right.
when I dance and then I dance on, and then I switch from on two on one to the girls, they,
Yeah.
sometimes they come, oh, I just dance on two. I go, like, okay. And I dance with them in the middle of the song. I dance on one so they get me, you know? And then after that, but in a nice way, and I
Right.
make it fun. And they were like, oh, it was fun. I was like, do you see? Don't come with that mentality that is
Yeah.
only it, who took. I asked a lot of the people, your instructor show you to be like this, so arrogant, and so
Right.
I go like,
Well said.
it's so sad.
Well said.
Remember when you start learning to dance, it was
Right.
about just having fun. You
It was
didn't care
about
what
having.
style or anything.
Yeah. It was
And now
about having fun.
it's too much. It's like,
Yeah. It's true. It's about having fun regardless. I mean, dancing on one is great. Dancing on two is great. Both different styles, but if you're able to dance on both, it's great. But the way
yeah.
people judge each other, that's what is sad.
And a lot of
Yeah.
people don't understand, but a lot of the music goes better. Some mambos on two,
Yeah.
some music that it goes perfect for one.
Right. Right.
But you still can dance the way you want, no?
Right.
But there's a music they don't understand. It's like Dominican bachata with the fusion bachata.
Good
The
point.
fusion bachata. There is a mix. It can be Beyonce's song, and they just put the bachata beat on the.
Yeah.
And
Right.
but if you really understand the music well, you cannot dance with the sensual bachata Dominican.
Yeah.
And
Right.
with the Dominican, so I'm not gonna dance Cuban with the salsa song that is more on mambo, tum 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 tum, and trying to dance Cuban, it doesn't go.
It doesn't
But
go.
you still
Right.
can do it if you want, So
Right.
some people's like on two, I go like, yeah, but that song goes more for one.
Right.
It's Cuban.
Yeah.
So why are you talking about being on two? It means if you really know and you were trying to be so perfectionist on two, then why are you dancing on two?
Go with the song. Go with the song.
Exactly.
Go with the
Exactly.
song. If it's better on one, go on one. Go on two.
Yeah, but they
Yeah,
don't understand.
right.
It's these
Yeah.
people who don't understand. And I'm going to tell you, the instructors have such a power. That's what I'm telling you.
Yeah.
That your students become like you. And a lot of people that they are like that is because they learned from the teacher. And the teachers, they tell them on two is better. Or one is nice, but on two is better. or you become better. And they put this thing that the people start believing, like people who dance Cuban, a lot of the Cubans, they put on the people's head, that's it. If they done something else, it's not good or anything.
Right.
Only the people that are really open mind, they learn everything and they really appreciate it. It's almost like speaking different languages. If we're communicating here, because we speak English somehow.
Yeah.
If I speak Italian, if I speak with an Italian, from now I'm learning a little bit of Swedish, I can communicate. But here everybody speak English. You know, it's the country from Europe, they speak better English than any other place. It's like being in Los Angeles. That's it's any place in America. You know, they're freaking amazing.
Everyone's talking in English. Okay.
Yeah. This is the country that everybody speak. Everybody speak English. They speak 3 or 4 languages each person.
Yeah.
You know,
that's awesome.
But English is the English that you speak usually in America. It's not like the British or
Right.
It's amazing. They have done amazing songwriters. They write for Justin Bieber, Justin Timberlake, Beyonce, Madonna. They've been writing a lot of the hits in America. If you see who are the writers, they're Swedish. They're recognized in the world one of the best writers in music for the last 25 years.
Yeah, that's
since I think ABBA, since
ABBA, yeah, ABBA's a great song, great artist.
But a lot of writers, so here they really put so much into music.
Yeah.
They're amazing when it comes to music, and I see the Swedish singers here and everything, and I'm like, whoa. Sarah Larsson, that is in America, she's Swedish, and I met her when she was starting here. She was a little girl. She started singing. Wow. And it's so funny, became so freaking huge over there.
She's huge. Yeah, she's huge here. Wow.
She's Swedish, and they have actresses that are really amazing. I mean, the country is very small. It's 10 million people.
Okay.
But they give freaking much. H&M is from here. IKEA, the Spotify.
Wait, H&M is from there? Really?
Yeah, of course, it's Swedish.
Oh, okay, I didn't know that. Wow. Man,
IKEA,
IKEA,
Spotify.
IKEA.
They create a lot of Spotify music is from Sweden. The creator and everything. There's a lot of. They give you a lot of opportunities. They're very smart,
That's awesome.
And they want the people to somehow become successful because it helps the country.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That's what I'm saying. If you help your students to become better, they're going to become better. Yeah. If you help your country to become better, you can make the country better. So if I'm an asshole and the students, they see that, they're going to get really disappointed with me, or they're going to learn to be like me. And that's really dangerous. So you have to be kind. If you see people acting like that, it's because they learned from that, or is the way they are. It comes already in the way the person is,
Yeah. Well said.
So,
brother, let's end the podcast with that. I just want to conclude by saying that you've been an inspiration to so many people. I want to thank you for being on the show, and thank you for telling us your story. Where can people find you online if they want to see you at an event in Europe? If they're traveling, where can people see you? Drop your Instagram, Facebook, anything.
Okay, here we go. When it comes to Instagram, everybody goes like, "Why you don't get Instagram?" I say, because it takes away from your life. I'm not so much into the media,
That was deep. That was deep. That was what.
Do you know what I learned with the time? Yeah. That my time is so valuable to spend with the family, or to just chill at home, because when I'm working, I'm working. Yeah. But like I told you, I'm so full of work that I don't need that. I say maybe for somebody that is that needs a promotion and become somehow famous, or wants to get jobs and this, then use all that, because I really recommend it. Yeah, but for me now, I want to chill more. You want to find me on Facebook, Luis Vazquez.
Awesome.
Simple, with the Z in the middle and at the end, Luis Vazquez. And on YouTube, you can see some of the stuff that I never posted. Whoever posts those videos is just regular people.
Yeah.
But they can contact me on Facebook is the easiest way. Messenger, WhatsApp. You can put, if you want, my number if anybody wants to contact me. Awesome. Not just for dancing, but for anything. I just got a guy who just called me 2 days ago. Mm-hmm. He's from Mexico. He lives in France. Mm-hmm. And it was so funny because he met me a year ago. Okay. I'm from Mexico. You're Luis Vazquez. I know your brothers, and I've been following you. since I was a little kid. He's still a little kid. I mean, he's 21 or something like that.
Yeah.
But he was like, since I was 10 years old or something, I saw videos. And he's an amazing dancer. He lives in France. And he got a problem with his girlfriend who lives in Houston.
Yeah.
And he goes like, Luis, I don't have family here. And I didn't know who to call. Can I call you, please? And I said, yeah, sure, call me. Wow. And it was because he was having problems with his girlfriend that she said that doesn't love him anymore.
Right.
And it was so nice because he called me and he was like, I'm sorry that I'm calling you, but since I met you, you make me feel so good. Do talk to me like as nobody's been talking to me ever. Those an hour, 2 hours that we were talking and everything in this place that I met him, he goes like, and I felt that I can contact you. And until now, you proved me exactly what I was thinking, that you are that kind of a person, because you even took time for me to get this call. And he told me all the story, and I give him a really nice advice. So he just wrote to me yesterday. Wow. Like, thank you. I'm trying to follow your advices and everything. And it was really, really cool. So
that's fucking cool, man.
In a way, you know,
wow.
And the way he find about me was because of Facebook, you know. So Instagram and all that I don't use, but Facebook, you can find me. YouTube, you can put my number, my phone number if you want. I can give it to you, you know, and it's fine. Anybody can call me, not just for dancing, for anything else. If I have the time, with pleasure. Okay.
There you go. Thank you so much, bro. You've been an inspiration to so many people. Thank you for being on the show. And what I'll do is I'll send you the.
Thank you. So nice to see you, brother.
Nice to see you, brother. Nice. And I need to get out to Sweden, man. I need to visit you, man. That's something.
You need to come. My house is your house, bro. Whenever you want to come, you're welcome. Not just that, I live very close from Denmark. It's really cool, Denmark. You know, awesome. Copenhagen. And if you plan with time and everything, I tell you where to go. My brother lives in Italy, Johnny. You can go and visit him. We have his own dance school, amazing. Perfect. You can go and do a little tour, man. Enjoy life. Really save money and go for a freaking vacation, because that's the only thing that you're going to take with you is those moments that keep you alive.
Memories.
Don't just work to save money, but work to enjoy it and go and travel. Travel is the best, man.
Well said. All right, brother. I'll talk to you soon, man.
Take care. God bless you, man.
God bless you, brother.
See you to everybody. LA. See you next year there. I'm going to LA to visit my family, and maybe I go to my brother's event, Francisco. It's having with Rogelio and
end of May, right?
They're having the I don't remember the name of the festival, but now there's there's no more LA Salsa festival, you know, LA Congress. Yeah. So now they're doing this festival, and maybe I'm going. But anyways, I'm gonna go somehow to visit my family, and I'm gonna be in LA. So I'll see you there.
There you go. The end of May.
Take care, bro.
All right, brother.